Hi guys, this is David from Paintable, and today I want to show you how to actually draw transparent liquids. And I'll give you an example by drawing a tear. Hey guys, so today I want to show you how to design liquids or teardrops. And for that I'm going to show you first here the theory, and then I'll show you how to actually do a teardrop. So first thing that you need to know is the direction of your light. So the arrow here is going to represent that. And once you know the direction of your light, you'll know that the opposite side where the light is coming from is going to be where it's supposed to be lit. So right now you see it's a little bit darker where the light hits, and it's lit at the back. Then you will need to add a highlight with a little bit of diffuse light, so that's like reflection, a little bit more of the light on the surface of the drop. You'll have an occlusion shadow, and here, because the light is really from the side, you see that it's really sharp here, it's a little bit more blurry here. And then the other thing that I want to show you now is just to give that illusion that it's actually transparent. It's fun to have like some diffuse light that comes in it, in the object. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a layer of color dodge, and I'm just going to paint a little bit more light that's coming inside the teardrop. And I'll make sure that that light comes out as a beam of light. And that way it kind of gives you the illusion that there's a beam of light getting in, it lids the whole bubble of water, and then it goes out. And that's how you actually design some liquids. So now this is the theory. Let's try to apply that to actual tears. Okay, so one thing that is good to know is that this technique can be applied on every kind of liquids that you want to actually draw. You just have to repeat the same steps. Today we're just going to do it on tears, but you could do it for anything else that is liquid and transparent. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to design the shape of your tears, and you'll see that sometimes it's the most difficult part. So you need to find something that will look sort of natural, that will find his way towards the face. So here I'm going to make just something like this. Like the tears will go down here and then hit the side of the nose and go down here. So once you design that, my trick is to actually make a copy of the illustration that you already created. So I'm just going to go back to my illustration here, and I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to use that copy to actually paint. So now what I have is, like you see, a copy in the shape of the teardrop. And what I'll do from here, I'm going to click on the lock, and I'm going to lock the pixels, basically. It's called lock transparent pixels. And when you click on it, basically what it does is that you can just paint on that shape now. So what I'll do, I'm going to take my soft round brush, and I'm going to take some white, and I just want to lid a little bit more the bottom part here, because the light is coming from the top and hits the tear, and therefore it's going to lit the bottom. And I'm going to make the rest a little bit more dark, because like we saw, when the highlight hits, it gets a little bit darker. So I'm going to use a skin tone a little bit darker here. I'm just going to darken the rest of it a little bit, just like that. All right. So now that I have the base, I'm going to need to make the occlusion shadow along the way. So I'm going to create a new layer on top, and I'm going to use that to make the occlusion shadow. So for the occlusion shadow, I'm making sure that I put it on a separate layer, because I'm probably going to make the occlusion shadow too dark. And then I'll be able to just go and make the layer transparent a little bit. All right, now that I have that on a separate layer, I'll be able to just go down with the opacity. Does that make sense? And I'm going to take an eraser with a soft round brush, and I'm just going to erase a little bit here so it goes down nicely. All right, from here, I'm going to create a new layer, and what I'll do is I'm going to take this soft round brush, and I'm going to start creating the highlight where it hits. And so the light comes from the top. So in here, it's not an exact science, guys, all right? When it comes to tears, it goes over the body. It has different shapes, different form. You're gonna have to guess a little bit. So you're gonna have to work a little bit for it because it's not just a round bubble like I gave you an example earlier. This time it's organic, so just try to do your best. So here I'm gonna just find a place like this, and I'm just gonna start designing some sort of highlight here. Then I'll switch to white, and I'll be like, all right, so I think that the highlight should be around here. So let's say that's my highlight. So that's where it hits. So from here, I'm just going to continue refine it a little bit. I'm going to create a new layer. And I think it should be darker around where's the highlight. So I'm just going to take the color of my occlusion shadow here. And I'll just, with the opacity at 20%, I'm just going to start painting a little bit all around it, just to darken that part. All right, that seems good. I'm going to switch back to white, put back my opacity at 100, create a new layer again, and I'm just going to have a little bit more reflection at the bottom. Take the soft round brush and just soften up a little bit. It starts to look like something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that reflection that goes on the skin. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to use color dodge. Now when I use color dodge, I'm going to use a soft round brush, and I'll make sure that the color that I'm using is not too pale. If I'm using something pale, it's just going to burn everything. But if I'm something dark, it's going to add a little bit of pink in it. If it's too pink, then just take something in the middle, like this. I think that should be fine. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint a little bit on it. And I'm going to play with the opacity. I'm going to put the opacity down until it looks like something that's more realistic. I think that's good. And from here, I'm just going to need to refine it a little bit. So I'm going to go and add a new layer on top of it. And I will take my brush here, and I'm going to make the occlusion shadow a little bit less apparent. I think that's just too much there. So basically, I'm going to pick up the color of the side and just paint a little bit on top of it. All right, that seems to be nice. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to take all the layers I created. I'm just going to put them in a group. So I have my tier here. And I'm just going to push down the opacity a little bit lower because I think it's just too apparent right now. I'm just going to bring it down. That seems better. And now I'm gonna create just one layer with everything. So I'm going to do Command E, and it's going to create just one layer. And I'll be able to just delete the parts that I don't need. Like I don't need this part here. I'll put that a little bit more transparent. So I'm going to delete a bit of the parts. And I'm just going to continue a little bit refining it. I'm going to add another layer, and sometimes like here you can see like the tiers are just breaking down. So I'm going to add some breaking down here. So I'm going to take the color of the occlusion shadow here, and I'm just going to break down the edges. So let's say there's an edge here, and therefore there's going to be a highlight here. And just like that, it's going to add a little bit more realism to this tier. Play it down a little bit. Maybe add some more highlights. And a top highlight here. And yeah, I think that's pretty good so far. I'm just gonna merge them all together, and I might just push down a little bit the opacity again, just to make sure that it's not too bright. And here you have it, guys. And that's it for this tutorial, guys. Academy member can follow along at home by downloading this layer PSD in the resources section of the Academy. Also, don't forget to like, share, or comment below this video. And if you really want to take your digital painting to the next level, come check out the Academy, where we offer in-depth tutorials, step-by-step lessons, exercises, live workshops, premium resources, and a world-class community of inspired digital painting like yourself, ready to help you and support whenever you need it. You just have to click on the link below this video or on the button to find more. And until next time, happy painting.